In many algebra classes, you're often given these classical problems that talk about the path of a falling object. The function for the path of a falling object is s equals negative 16 times t squared plus v sub 0 times t plus s sub 0, where v sub 0 is just your initial velocity in feet per second, and s sub 0 is your initial height. And t, of course, is your time. And then s is going to tell us, how many feet above or below or whatever. So if it's a negative number, it better have hit the ground. But let's look at a real simple example. Let's say I was on top of a building, okay? I'm on top of a building that's 20 feet high. This is a 20-foot tall building, okay? And I'm up here on top of it. I'm sorry for the stick figures, but I throw a ball off of that building at 64 feet per second. Okay, the 64 feet per second is my initial velocity. I'm on top of a 20-foot building. So the 20-foot building is my initial height, so that's my s sub 0. So let's take a look here. I would have s is equal to negative 16 t squared plus 64t plus 20. Now, what can you use this equation for? Well, let's figure out how high the ball is after 1 second, okay? So after 1 second, we're really finding, let me go to a different color. S of 1 would equal negative 16 times 1 squared plus 64 times 1. I'm simply putting 1 in for t plus 20. So what would I have? Negative 16 times 1 squared. 1 squared is 1. It's just negative 16 plus 64 plus 20. Looks like I would have 68. Negative 16 plus 64 is 48 plus 20 is 68. So after 1 second, that ball is 68 feet in the air. Okay? Now, let's say I was asked how long it takes for this ball to reach its maximum height. Okay? Now, to reach its maximum height, the diagram is a little confusing there. Let's say I was throwing it straight up there. To reach its maximum height, we simply are using the formula negative b, I'm going to use a different color here, negative b over 2a. And if you remember from our discussions about the quadratic formula, if we looked at this up here, a for this one would be negative 16. B, I'll go down there, B for ours would be 64. And C would be 20. Drop that A right there. So negative B over 2A will give us the time at which it reaches its maximum height. So negative B would be negative 64 over 2 times negative 16, because A is negative 16. Negative 64 over 2 times negative 16 is negative 32. Negative 64 over negative 32 is a positive 2. So it reaches its maximum height at 2 seconds. Now, if you were asked what the maximum height is, you could simply plug in 2 into your equation. So we would be finding S of 2, and that's equal to negative 16 times 2 squared plus 64 times 2 plus 20. So I would have negative 16 times 4. 64 times 2 is 128 plus 20. Now, negative 16 times 4 is negative 64 plus 128 plus 20. Negative 64 plus 128 is 64 plus 20 is 84. So my maximum height would be 84 feet. Not too bad. And let's look at that. If you were to put this on a graph, and let's say stray mark. All right, here I am. And I'm throwing this ball up, okay? It's really kind of straight up. But I'm making it where you can understand this a little bit more. It is a parabola. At the top, we have figured out that it reaches the top at 2 seconds. And over here, it is at a height of 84 feet. We also looked at what it was at 1 second. 1 second it was 68 feet, so we did that. I could come down here. 1 second, we figured out it was, well, I didn't hit that right on, but it's 68 feet. But our peak vertex was at time 2 seconds and a height of 84 feet.